We're on? What has happened to our opening music?
Hi, everybody.
Matt.
Why do you start yelling like that in the beginning?
This is the Simply Youth Ministry Podcast with Doug Fields.
I have an incredible filing system that I put a Q on the top. That means a question.
Matt McGill.
You know what? I don't have opinions. I only have knowledge.
Josh Griffin.
And the dog jumps into the bushes and is wrestling around and pulls out this Polish sausage.
And Jana Sardi.
I don't need to add humor because I can add wisdom.
The show starts now.
Nicely done. Great intro from our friend David Michael Moore, who continues each week to surprise us.
David Moore.
Absolutely.
Huh?
Just David Moore.
No, it's
Or
Michael
Michael
David Moore. It's David Michael Moore.
David
He was
T.
a
Moore
sitcom
Ministries.
actor in the 80s. Hey, everybody. Doug Fields here with Josh and Matt, and sitting in for Jane, Jana, and Janet is Jake.
Hi. And his beard. It's
Yeah.
two
Mountain
entities
Man.
over there.
Somebody asked me if the beard was for a skit.
Yes.
Like, is it a bit?
No.
Oh, it's legit.
It's just me being me.
It's you expressing yourself.
Yeah,
Through hair.
more hair on your face than
Yeah.
on top of your head. I like it.
And
Yeah.
Jake has sat in, 3 or 4 times?
Yeah.
A lot of people have asked
He's
for
a
Jake.
youth pastor down far away.
Yeah, Jake grew up in our youth ministry and is a youth pastor and is a wonderful, wonderful human. We like him a lot.
Thank you, guys.
And I
Just not more than Jana.
no, not more
Yeah.
than Jana.
But
Jana
he'll be funnier
is
than
in
Jana,
Jana's in Africa.
Yeah.
She's in
Yeah.
Africa?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she left on Tuesday. She went with
Good job.
30 high school students.
Yeah.
About 30 high school.
Yeah.
Words.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's
It's
the first
awesome.
time she's gone somewhere in a long time. Not,
Yeah.
Australia.
Australia doesn't really count because her
No,
husband's
it's
from there.
family there, yeah.
That's
No, it's
interesting.
very
she
cool.
used to have quite a bit of wanderlust.
Pardon?
Wanderlust?
Wanderlust? What's the
Wander?
word?
Wonder.
Yeah, wanderlust. I had it right the first time.
Did you?
And
I don't know what that is.
Were
I
you-
wonder as I wander.
You've never heard that word?
Well, you know, we got a lot to do
Have
today.
you heard
Hey,
that word?
look, show.
It feels like a German word, like Wunderlust. Like it's a.
Oh, Wunderlust is a different deal.
Oh,
That
that's
is-
totally, it's like a
No,
sausage.
Ask,
has that,
Ask
yeah.
the live crew. Wanderlust. Have they
It's
heard
like a
that phrase?
bratwurst.
All right, well, we're referring to our live audience, like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Let's go to the live audience.
Let's go to the live audience and find out what they have to say.
We walk into our podcast room, and sitting here is a box. It's a box from Ben Hunter. Oh, it's a
No,
ship
ship
to
to
Ben
Ben
Hunter.
Hunter.
Well, it probably was him, and he hand-delivered it here or something, right?
I don't know. He's from Webster
Webster.
Groves, Missouri.
Huh.
It says on the outside,
No, that's UMC, dude.
United Methodist Church.
Oh, never mind.
U.S. Marine Corps.
That needs to be David Michael Moore needs
Yep.
to
You
get
just got
that
your-
ignorance on the next
Got your
show.
clip for next week right there.
No. You know what? Jake knew what I was talking about.
We have a little shout out to those of us that have bronchitis. Just a little warning to our viewing audience.
Show brought to you by.
And I am on antibiotics.
Thank you.
So anyway, on this
packs
box,
a day.
we haven't looked in it yet. It says Chimchimery,
Oh.
Potted Up, Down with Elders,
I'm going to get the down with all this.
You see the down with
podcasts
elders and it's got this guy
are
like,
worthless.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
love it.
Yeah, so here we go. We're
Are we
opening
gonna
up.
Are we getting
get-
to questions at some point?
Yeah, we're gonna get to questions. This is it's kind of a long.
It's like a little care package.
It's
Jana, Josh, Matt, and friend.
your friend.
Thanks for the.
Doug
sorry,
didn't
Matt.
make it. Candy.
Here's the free stuff: Doug's readability, length, Matt's attention span version. I can't
gosh,
wait
I've
to
got
read
the-
the letter, but here it's kind of long.
Yeah,
So
I've got the
no,
longest
no.
attention
Let's just see
span of
what's in
anybody
there
I know.
first. All right, is that?
well, there is a
Oh,
T-shirt, SYM podcast,
I like it.
and it has 4 people sitting around.
A snowball microphone too.
Yeah,
Look at that.
yeah.
Any homeschooler would be proud of that work.
Yeah.
You gonna set up?
No, it says I'd rather be podcasting. That's Brazelton. Where's Brazelton? And here it is.
Oh,
a
yes.
box of
Cheese.
0 calorie
Subtle.
pure American. This is kind of a vitamin water ripoff.
It looks like a total
It
ripoff.
looks totally different.
Yeah. So there's
Can we drink them? Are they good?
You can drink them.
you go to
Let's
town.
do it. Yeah. 0 calories.
Anyway, gifts, napkins, the whole bit.
Oh wait, Diet Coke.
Gianna.
Wow.
Gianna drinks Diet Coke.
All right.
Okay, candy,
Right here.
just to snack on for behind-the-scenes people. Napkins to put under the drinks to stop water wings on table.
Mm-hmm.
Drinks, Diet Coke for Doug, vitamin water for everybody else.
That's funny.
He doesn't know that I'm on 3
Yeah.
days of no Diet Coke.
It's a new
Started on
record,
Monday.
isn't it?
Well,
Started a month ago. You're
Sure.
doing all right.
Started 1 day ago. Started 6 days ago.
sorry for the size. It'll only fit Doug only and Jana. Also, sorry it's executed with a Sharpie. I don't have graphic designers at my disposal.
Well,
Nor do you have
A
a
printer.
word processor where we could have read it. But thank
Printer
you.
was out of
I don't
ink.
even know who this is from.
Yeah.
Ben Hunter.
Ben from
Ben.
the
U.S.
Marine
Marine
Corps.
Corps.
We will read this
Semper
right
Fi.
afterwards. Oh, look what else he included in the box.
An iPod.
Copy of Refuel. That was weird to send me
Touching.
my own book.
You signed it.
All right. Hey, I want to say to our audience here that we're in preparation for our 100th show. We have no idea whether we're going to have a 101th show.
Mm-hmm.
We might.
There will be 100 though.
We'll be 100. We're going to do our 100th show live at Columbus, Ohio, at our National Youth Ministry Conference, which is February 27th through March 3rd.
It's gonna be so fun.
And the first 100 people that are in that show are going to get a T-shirt for the 100th. I haven't seen it yet, but it's going to be better than more than dodgeball.
It'll say more than dodgeball on it. It's a great podcast shirt.
.com.
Much better.
Award-winning blog / podcast. And so, Jake, you probably don't listen to the show, do you?
I've fallen off in the last few months. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, understandable.
April 07 was the last time you listened.
No, I'm
So
still-
here's
I'm
the
still
deal: what we're
solid.
doing for the 100 shows, because
Okay.
you're going to be in Columbus.
Yeah, of course.
You're going to be
yes.
there. You just probably won't be on the show.
Yes.
Maybe you could
It'll be like
stand
last time.
behind us.
I sat in the audience last time.
Yeah.
And howled with laughter.
Did you?
It was good times.
There was
You
just
could
great
serve-
joy.
It was great. I actually sat with your daughter and your family, and
Yeah.
we were
Yeah, on
laughing
the
at you
side
guys,
of the
and with
room.
me, and we were just laughing at you guys.
You were on that side of the room.
Well,
You guys were facing this one.
here's the deal. What we're asking people to do is to send in things that they've learned on the podcast.
Great.
And so I'm collecting those, and then we're
yeah.
going to try to go through 100 things that people have learned.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
awesome.
So
I
an
thought that was a
example,
bit.
like this is Brandon Large. He wrote 12 things that he's learned. What'd you do?
Oh, that doesn't happen very often.
You almost swallowed
Well,
Well,
that,
bring us into your own little world.
The
What's
little
going on?
diabetes cap came off and got me.
You put the cap from your Coke into your
I always
drink.
do. Yeah, and then it came out and I almost choked to death.
That would have been
Close
great.
call.
That'd have been
It would
great.
have been exciting because
Brandon Large writes 12 things that he's learned.
Okay.
And for example, Matt, no matter how many times Doug places his hand on his shoulder, will always fidget and talk over anyone.
I wasn't talking this time.
Just saying things he's learned.
Merely trying to stay alive.
No matter how many times you put in your email, do not say my name or anonymous, Doug will read your name.
You will.
That's not true.
No matter who you are and what you're going through, you are subject to Matt's wrath.
And ridicule.
Of
Yeah.
course.
So there's a lot of things that people learn. There's some
yeah.
very sensitive ones, some tender ones. I got one here from Kim Kolb, which I thought, oh, that is so, so nice. There's some people attempting to be funny. And then there's some people that write like this.
Oh.
About 400 words. Our buddy Matt Cross.
Page break. Enter twice.
And yeah, some numbers, do something. Resubmit that
Bullet
one
point.
because that's way too many words to read to figure out what you've learned. But we're going to save all those. Let's get to our question. We have a CD.
How many of these
That we
it's gonna
can
be great.
put
Do
up
you
for
think
sale?
You're really gonna save those?
Yeah. This is Josh speaking at Fuse, September
wow.
28th. Found this in my office today.
Wow, that's
Wanna-
great.
Thank you. Damn it.
eBay.
It's actually excellent. You did a great job. I listened to it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All of it.
All of it. The whole thing. The whole thing. Because he didn't think he did a
I
good
didn't hear
job.
because I heard Doug wasn't speaking. So.
So you didn't go.
That was the one where everyone groaned. Doug can't be here tonight, but I'm filling
I
in for him. And
was
everyone
there.
goes, oh.
It was awesome.
Oh, sorry.
Excuse me.
Nice haircut.
Thank you.
Get your head out of the way.
Literally, everyone like groaned
There's
when they
no
found out that
exaggeration.
Doug
There
wasn't
was
going to
a
be there.
literal-
They did
Yeah.
not groan.
Play it right now.
I
It's
promise
probably
you.
on there.
Yeah.
But then there was
they
a nice.
seriously groaned?
Yes.
I mean, they were
At
like,
the 4:30.
oh, because it was 4 weeks into Fuse, brand new. They're expecting Doug. We're advertising Doug. He has a wedding, and so the video comes on and says, "Guys, I wish I could be there tonight, but my friend Josh." And it's like, oh, almost booze.
This show is dedicated to our good buddy Chuck Greenaway.
Hey,
He's
Chuck.
a youth pastor in Florida,
Oh, Chuck.
and is dedicated
serving
to
the
Chuck. He's a good buddy of our friend Steve Adams.
Raise my
So
vitamin water.
Steve Adams said, "Can you give him a shout out?"
Oh,
I said, absolutely. We'll dedicate the show to him.
We will.
Just like that.
The Greenaway Show.
All right.
Greenaway
This
podcast.
show's
Nick
not dedicated to
Wittenhall.
him.
Yeah, it is.
I
Dedicated.
refuse to dedicate it.
Well, you're only 1/4 of the show,
Three
and that's
quarters
even when you're
dedicated.
good.
No.
Half the size, 1/4. What? 2 fat jokes. 10 minutes in, I like it.
Hey,
All right.
speaking of fat
90%
jokes,
of the mental power.
speaking of fat jokes, I watched the Point 8 podcast that we did, Point 2 podcast, the 8-minute one from last week. That's not a podcast. And Chris did a great job of editing, a little scrolling, turn
That
away
was
from
funny.
this. Clever. I watched it. It was bad. It was a bad 8 minutes of podcast history.
It was.
Your best line was, "This show is detrimental," or something like that.
A debacle.
Debacle. It
Yes.
was a great line. Great line.
That was the best. It must have been bad.
Yeah, it was bad.
Thanks,
It was
on
bad.
this stuff.
Glad you're here, though, Jake.
Hey.
Nick Wittenhall
New camera.
from North Haven Church says, "I read from Josh's Twitter that he was researching text-to-screen programs. What did you find? What are you guys going with?"
That's great. Well, at the group conference in just a couple weeks, Jake and I are doing a bit where we're polling the audience, and people are going to text to us, and we're going to use polleverywhere.com. And so people will be able to put their answers on with their phone, and it'll come right up on the screen.
Yeah.
Should be fun.
Does it work with PowerPoint or with how does it? What program?
It's
does it
actually a
work
website that updates itself live. You can embed it into PowerPoint though too, and other things. Yeah.
with? So what do you do? Just do full screen and
Yep.
and that's how you do it.
And there it is. Yeah. We probably are going to use, because the end of your talk, we've thought about doing some text to screen stuff there where people could type in their words or their prayers or their thoughts, and we're going to use WeFeedy for that probably.
WeFeedy?
Yep.
But how do you moderate it? If it just goes straight up to
Some
a
of them have
webpage?
built-in filters.
Right.
I don't know what WeFeedy does.
Yeah.
Do you have to buy a phone number?
Nope.
So what are they texting into?
They text into WeFeedy, and there's a word. You have to put the word first. Like at the conference, we'll put group, and then whatever they want. to put on
WeFeedy.
there.
Oh, so is WeFeedy like a cha-cha?
I don't.
It's like a website that displays
yes.
text. Yeah.
How do you spell WeFeedy for the people at home?
Good question.
Like Nintendo Wii?
I
I
think
don't
so.
know. Why doesn't somebody in the live audience figure that out and get
Yeah,
that to us?
perfect.
Hey, well, this is a little bit of a follow-up question from Josh Ryder from Princeton, Illinois. He says, "Hey, through watching your show, I've been able to pick up a few great tools to do youth ministry better, like wingclips.com
Oh,
and the
welcome.
text-to-screen tool." I'm telling you, wingclips.com is unbelievable.
What
love
is it?
It's
It is
cool.
unbelievable. Let's
Yeah.
don't tell Matt.
Okay. It's awesome.
Okay.
Groundbreaking.
I almost got it.
You just got the look. The shoulder touch is coming next.
I'd love to hear about a few more resources, website, and tools that you use often, electronic or otherwise Bible, that not everyone
Electronic Bible.
not everyone knows about and should. These should be the awesome, and it does that type of tool.
Yeah.
I mean, all I rely on is God's word. But
But
what
if
about
need
you?
to-
What about you, Josh? You need gimmicks.
I vlogged 52. That's unbelievable. And somewhat true. 52 links every youth worker should check out is on morethandodgeball.com. And I actually just recently, a couple weeks ago, did 52 more links that you should check out. So just go to morethandodgeball.com, type in 52, hit search, and they'll come right up.
Great.
I mean, it's got everything, every category. Lots
How
of good
did you
stuff.
do those?
Really, the first list was what I actually use and what I like and what I've seen but would like to use, and the other 52 were new things. They're coming out all the time for free. I could probably do 10 more from this week alone. But I won't.
There's a lot of websites.
Josh is a great
Wait more.
user of resources that are out there.
I love that.
You're good at that. That's why I love it. I have a secret blog. I'm going public now. With
Now
it.
tell us about this. This is rumored because
No, it's not rumored. I only told you. Kathy's the only person who's read it.
I typed in Doug Field's blog after you told me, and I cannot find this
Well,
site.
he's not going to put his name in it.
Well,
Yeah, it's my alter ego. It's my
So,
alter ego
It's
blog.
your pen
Your
name
name is
not alter
Karen.
ego. Maybe it's an alter
Karen
ego.
Smith from St.
Is there
Louis,
really room for
Missouri.
another ego in there?
Oh,
That was good.
wow.
That was good.
Yep.
Well, tell us a little bit about it. Give us some more clues at least.
Well, I
What's the
don't
topic?
I don't really want to say because if I tell you the topic, then you could search for it. Wow. But it was just
I'm
something
guessing
where
it's golf.
it's yeah. It was just something I went, let me see if I could do this. And I've entered, I have, what's today's February
Video
5th or
gaming?
something like that.
Proverbs?
I have like 26 blogs entries. And they're not short. They're not pithy.
Secret blog.
Yeah, secret blog.
Secret blog.
You know what? I bet you if I thought of some keywords that you usually use when you write, I bet you I could find it.
Okay.
Well, let's think of some of those keywords right now.
No, let's don't, because here's what I'll do. I'll tell you guys afterwards.
Right?
My trusted close friends, I'll tell you afterwards. And then you guys can help me decide whether we go public with it or not.
Oh, gosh.
Oh,
I can tell you
this is-
already. Yes.
I don't know.
It's gonna be great.
Maybe it's him as a crossdresser.
Yeah, don't go public with that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything on there that could hurt the church or damage my family.
I just had to say that. I was only joking.
But go ahead and search cross-dressing.
Yeah.
It's Angels baseball.
No, it's not going to have your name on it.
golf,
No, it
You're
doesn't.
smart
Dating,
enough for that.
marriage.
You're barely smart enough for that, but you're smart enough for that.
Yeah.
recreational drug use. I can't think of it.
Okay.
Maybe it's Doug, but the U has umlauts on it.
It's Duke Fields.
Nashville, Tennessee. This is Justin Lane. Says, I have a question. I was going over older podcasts in my spare time. And I just came across the podcast referring to Matt's character on World of Warcraft. Does he
Oh.
still play this character?
The seventh moon of Endor.
Man. Yes, he does.
You have a new character.
Yeah, his name is. I no longer play Gerbil Slayer,
Oh.
but instead I play Love Handles. And he is a Death Knight on the Dragon Blight realm. That's right. You can find me. Love
Wow.
Handles.
Love
Dragon
Handles.
Blight.
How often do you play, Matt?
Like probably once a week, twice a week.
That's awesome. Now, did you sell Gerbil Slayer like on eBay or something?
No,
Seriously?
no, I still have it. It's
Okay.
all on the same account.
Oh.
But they came out with a new character, and I'm playing the new character.
Do you play?
No, never.
No,
yeah.
he can't play these kinds of games. They drive him crazy.
Why is that?
They're not my style.
He only likes action.
First-person shooters, sports.
World of Warcraft is not action?
No,
No.
it's role-playing. No.
Oh.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, it's strategy.
Matt used to mime when he was in junior high, so I can see that.
What are you right
Did
now?
you
Junior
take a
high?
miming class?
No, here's the deal. It all begins. My mom died.
It's embarrassing.
Ooh,
No,
there's a
it's
good
not
start.
Oh,
embarrassing.
strike the mom death thing.
No,
Yeah,
my
way
mom
to go.
died.
Now we
so
can't
we
make fun
got,
of it.
So
we
keep
got
in mind
no,
at
you-
the funeral.
So we have. Well, she was all white. I'm just kidding. No, so my dad, we did tons of after-school stuff, like
Role play.
everything.
Miming.
And one of them was like a mime class.
Oh. Awesome.
So
Because I've seen a picture of Matt with face paint on
yeah,
and gloves, white gloves.
yeah.
I think
That's
you'd be
awesome.
excellent
It
at it.
was-
We ought to post that.
If I
We
don't
really
even
should.
know if I still have
Maybe
it.
that's my secret blog.
The thought.
Your mime.
Doug Fields'
The
miming
mime
secrets.
The
Dude.
mime.
Matt not being able to talk would be interesting.
Oh, Jiminy.
Ken Leslie, our good
Ken.
buddy at pdymcommunity.com.
Mhm.
Is Ken going to be at PDYM?
I'm sure he is. Seems like
Yeah, I
a
wanna
legit
see
guy.
March 24th through something?
March 28th? 7th?
No,
Oh, yeah.
Is that the church-based conference?
It's not the national.
It's not the national,
Yeah,
it's church-based.
Church-based.
Are you coming to PDYM?
I don't know.
You're the future of
Yeah.
the church-based conference.
You're coming.
Cool. Yeah, I'm coming.
You're teaching a
teaching at it.
workshop.
Oh yeah, Gina told me.
All right.
All right.
Oh, do you need me to teach a workshop at?
Teaching a workshop
The
on
other one?
miming.
Man, you're always trying to get out of stuff.
Hi, guys,
you
welcome to
make
the
commitments
workshop.
and then you try to
No,
get
I'll
out.
do it.
No, I
My mom
understand.
died.
The future of the church. Hiring, firing people left and right.
Changing people's lives all over the place.
Thinking of summer stuff.
Let me do a little miming for you right now.
You know what? Part of your makeup is that little tear.
This is.
And I'm not taking us off track.
I know you're actually being
I
decent
know.
today, which is
Decent,
unbelievable.
Excellent, phenomenal,
Decent.
phenomenal.
Somebody said to me, it's been a while, maybe in December or something, said, well, you guys always say, would you really do the show if nobody listened? Absolutely.
Oh, goodness,
Get
yes.
together, you know, there used to be a day when Matt and I had offices next to each other and Jake was right there.
Let's
And
do it again.
Let's come to high school, guys. Let's do this. I'm not kidding.
all right. Bronchitis.
Now that Jamie's out of the way.
Thinking of summer stuff or tentpole events. Isn't that what you call it?
Tentpole events, yes. Summer needs a little bit of a tent and an attendance graph.
If you can only do a small amount of these tentpole events, should I value consistency, always doing the same events, or give students a chance to experience different things each year? What do you think?
What do you think? You just
help unpack tentpole events. 'Cause I
the
didn't
big events throughout
Bridge
the year.
bridge events.
Quarterly events,
Well,
bridge events.
I think when he was saying the tentpole, it was something that would increase attendance, was my
Yes.
guess.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Like the big top at a
I
circus.
just made a pitch to Josh this week to keep our events for next fall consistent, that they would be a reoccurring event. We experimented in our new building this fall with set events based on holidays mainly for high school, and junior high had a once a month reoccurring, and the reoccurring just on a promotion side far surpassed how we were able to promote for any one individual event for high school. And so I feel pretty strongly, at least, and again, this is based off 1 year in a new building, but I right now feel that a reoccurring adds some good consistency.
Well, we're taking two different strategies because the summer is going to be random, water park here, camp here, whatever. But then the fall, when we're back to school, we bring some of the structure back in. So we're actually using two strategies: one summer, one fall.
Where are you guys gonna do the mission trip?
I think New Mexico. We're going to announce it this weekend.
Oh.
So should be cool. Indian reservation there.
You better figure out before the weekend.
Yeah.
Hey,
We
don't
sure
get bossy.
Hey, that's a lot of pressure. Come on.
Well, he said I think.
Hey,
There
it's
wasn't
not-
a whole lot of commitment there.
Well, I wasn't. We haven't actually told anybody what we're going to do.
Oh,
or
so
that
you
it's
just
not as
spoiled
even
it for the
canceled.
students that are watching the
Yeah.
All the students that
Well,
are
then you
watching.
could say
that.
I'm not sure. You don't have to go one way or the other.
No.
I'm sorry.
No, we're definitely going to Mexico. There you go.
Probably.
New Mexico. We
New
might be.
Mexico.
He actually trademarked. New
Forget the old
Mexico.
Mexico. It's out of style.
Ensenadas. Yeah.
New Mexico is the old black.
Broncos.
So there you go. Tentpole events, different styles. What's weigh in on that too?
No
We're
pun
kind of saying
intended.
both.
I like the tradition in the summer because I like for kids to have something to look forward to. I like the fact that if there's a certain camp or event that was a quote-unquote success, that you don't have to work so hard to promote it. As long as it's effective and doing something that you wanted to do for your ministry, I would say I like the fact of a kid goes up through youth group and goes, man, every summer we went to Hume Lake, and boy, I remember those days at Hume Lake, and there's something about that,
The
even
younger brother.
folklore, talking about it around the house, the whole bit, and sometimes that's difficult to do. Obviously, it's difficult to do in a changing economy where people are bagging out of camps, and here it comes.
People pass away.
People smoke 2 packs a day.
That's my secret blog.
Smokehouse.
2 packs
with
a
Dude
day at
Fields.
blogger.com.
Me and
2 packs a
Obama.
day would be a cool. That's a cool name for a blog.
Yeah, me and Obama have our little secret stash.
How much weed did you smoke in the 70s?
None.
Or the 60s.
None, but I was an Olympic athlete. How
Michael
about
Johnson,
that?
right?
Matt doesn't know the news, so.
Michael Phelps.
What about him?
Do you know who he is?
Swimmer got like 8 awards.
8 gold medals.
A gold medal's not an
8
award?
certificates.
It is, but they differ from what you might have gotten 5th grade at a
At a
ceremony.
mime convention.
Here's your little league trophy.
Do you know what happened to Michael Phelps like 5 days ago? It's been in
His
front.
neck got even bigger. No, what happened?
He swam in the drug pool.
Are you serious?
Yep.
He's a cheater.
Well,
No, not.
it's just recreational drug, not an enhanced
They
performance.
had a picture of him smoking some of that weed.
Oh,
Same stuff that Doug.
What?
that's no big deal. Before the
No
Olympics
big deal.
or after?
That's no big deal. Here
Well,
you got
it
this
is a big deal.
American icon.
I mean, it sucks.
If your son
but-
starts smoking weed, you can be like, that's no big deal.
Totally.
Hey, gateway drug.
It was his 50-meter bong. It was just.
I'm laughing that these guys found that funny.
That is funny.
But that is.
Okay, so do we answer Ken's
so
questions? I was saying I like tradition and consistency. You were
Yes.
saying
I was saying more on a month-to-month even basis. Of
you were
reoccurring
thinking
events.
fall, even though he
But
asked
even
about summer.
annually
So you really
reoccurring.
didn't answer his question, but kind of came at it on
I
the
got confused
backside,
by the whole
which is
tentpole,
why you're a substitute.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tentpole confused all of us.
Yeah. I don't.
I like the fact that he used Tentpole in the email. Thank you, Ken.
Yes.
We're taking that one mainstream, guys.
.com.
Who's that we again?
Ken Leslie and I are taking that mainstream.
This is from Matt Murphy, Denver Seminary.
Yay.
Ken Carl Baptist Church, Littleton, Colorado. I was listening to a podcast from a week or two ago where you and Matt and Jana were talking about how Doug confronts people in ministry, other than Jana, of course, and how he finds things in everything that could have been done better.
Oh, but we got to rephrase that.
Why?
Okay, go ahead.
Where and how do you find contentment in ministry? I can at times be very judgmental in finding things that can be improved on. Where for you is good enough, and how do you reinforce that with your staff? After all, not everyone is as perfect as McGill.
Mm-hmm. That's the truth.
It's never good enough. Remember that first flyer I sent out years ago?
Let's talk about it.
I had 3. Fields asked if I'd do a flyer. We had a staff meeting. This was when I was an intern, and the staff meetings always got in the way of me doing ministry. And so we had the staff meeting. Fields is like, you need to put together this postcard. And I'm like, but I'm taking some kids to the beach. It's like, no, you're not. You're putting together this postcard. And
which doesn't mean I wasn't supportive of you taking kids to the beach.
No,
It just means that you
no.
mismanage your time, probably.
No, it's just that you dropped something on me at the last minute, which is what you're supposed to do for interns.
Yeah, whatever.
I mean, so
Run out and get me a pack of cigarettes. Almost got right on the smile.
Kind of half smile.
And so I put this thing together. I didn't want to compare you to that because I thought that would be too close to home. Even though it would be funny. So I put together a postcard in like under 6 seconds and get it photocopied and sent out the door. And I go to the beach, and it's great. I actually led several kids to the Lord, and come back in 2 days, like 3 days later. Fields is like, dude, I am so glad I did not see you yesterday. And I'm like, why is that? Well, I got the flyer at my house, and you had 3 spelling errors on this flyer. It was like a quarter sheet of paper. You had 3 spelling errors, and and you said you had 4 different parents come up to you. They thought it was a joke because it was so bad.
Yeah,
and it was just very embarrassing.
So for Matt, that was good enough.
Yeah.
Good enough is 4 for 4.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, Shakespeare couldn't spell. So why should I have to?
Because he's your model.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It's a great question.
That was a huge mistake.
How you find things that could be done better. You can always I think the principle is you can always find things that could be done better. And I think if you even list those things, as long as they stay, my thing about there's a difference between a critical mind and a critical heart. As long as they come from the critical mind aspect and they say, we could make this better, here's the list, but at the end of the day, you can only do so many off that list. At some point, I could go to Josh's weekend program, which I do, and say, hey, here's 4 things that,
and that would be your short list.
Well, yes. I was just saying 4.
Yeah, 14.
Let's be
40.
For the show, we want to pretend it's 4.
But the point is not just critical heart, critical mind. It's also this is connected to that. But it's also you're not devaluing the other person. Yeah. I mean, when
Absolutely.
you criticize someone's ministry or someone's decisions that they make, like, can you truly do it in a way that you're not saying, look, you're a worthless individual, has no value before the Lord. Right. That's the problem. The problem, I think, that I've seen in my years of ministry and people coming in and sound like, is that it becomes too personal when they criticize, and it's also they're not even truly criticizing to make something better. They're just trying to tear something down.
Well, anybody can be critical.
Right.
So the idea with criticism, if I go into Josh's program, if I go to Josh's program and I can think of 5 things that could help that be better, and I have a relationship with Josh,
right,
I could give him those 5 things, and they don't feel like flesh wounds.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, you tell me if they.
No, I would say I would even ask for them.
But outside
what did you see?
Outside the context of a relationship.
Absolutely.
So, for example, like somebody got an email from our pastor, and this guy doesn't have a relationship with him, and he was devastated by this email. Well, I know Rick well enough to know that Rick didn't mean what
Sure.
this guy took it to be, but outside of the context of a relationship, it was devastating.
Yeah.
So you can, with us, hey, here's 5 things.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Josh has got to decide what of those 5 things are of value.
Right.
When I shoot you a sermon or a curriculum or anything that I'm writing, you give me your input on it. You change
don't shoot
it.
to Jake, though, do you?
What's that?
You don't shoot it to Jake.
Sometimes I do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
as a substitute.
Not for content.
Yeah.
If Jana's not around.
But you guys give me your feedback, and then I've got to decide whether I'm going to use that or not. I mean, at the end of the day, it rests on my shoulders what I'm communicating.
Right.
So but I also think there's a personality element of this too.
Yeah.
Like my wife, if Kathy was a youth pastor, she'd be like, "Thank you for doing that flyer, Matt. That was great." Right?
Right.
I mean, Kathy would go, "You got it done. That was great."
Yeah.
And for me,
She wouldn't care.
my
That's
personality is a
hilarious.
little different. I'm going, "Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? You
Yeah.
sending this out to parents, and you got 3 typos and perception of our ministry, and
Yeah.
so there is a personality piece to that. So those of us that are a little more
Retarded.
high strung, you don't really use that word anymore.
Well, let's talk about the good enough principle. I think part of it is for good enough. Did I cut you off?
No,
I thought
no.
we were done.
I'm never done when you have comments. I always have to circle
No,
back
you're
and save them.
You're always done when I come. I think part of the good enough principle is if you have unrealistic expectations, then you got to realize what's good enough. If you have clearly defined success for an event or for even a flyer or whatever it is you're doing, and you reach those objectives, then that's good enough. I mean, I think there are some things that good enough will differ from person to person and passion to passion, and it totally should. I mean, that's the thing. But the good enough thing is it comes into play when you make an idol out of something that you shouldn't. When it's got to be absolutely perfect and you don't need perfection, whatever that is. That's where the good enough comes into play.
Simply Youth Ministry, if we're real honest, was built on the good enough principle. Because from early, 20 years ago when I started letting people use my stuff,
Right.
I would say, use it. Take my name off. Put your name on. If it fits, go for it.
Right.
It wasn't edited by a professional. It wasn't designed by a professional. It wasn't, there wasn't investment in it financially. It was, go ahead and use it.
Right.
And people started saying thank you, and word of mouth spread, and then all of a sudden I had to start charging for it. And, for
Next thing you know, empire. But the thing is, too, that's cool, and this is what worked really good with us through the years, is that we have different areas where good enough is good enough. You know, I mean, for you, good enough, things really have to fit the big picture, and that's important. And then there is also that fine detail where it's like, hey, dude, you got some typos and you got this, and it's just distracting. I mean, every curriculum I ever wrote for our volunteers had tons of typos in it. And some of the volunteers it drove really, really crazy. But to me, I just thought, hey, this is good enough. I'm not going to go through again and fine-tooth comb this thing just so, you can have the comma in the right spot. But the things that, for me, that were really important, like how something is structured, or could this be misunderstood, or how do we argue this way, or what about that? It was just things that it worked out great.
It's hard for me because I think the good enough principle sometimes encourages mediocrity, though.
Oh, of course it does.
And because if everything is good enough, then nothing is ever excellent. And so I have taught good enough. We believe, I mean, I get it. But sometimes I think good enough, we hide behind it rather than going the extra mile and nailing something.
But good enough is always established by your faith and your call to ministry being simple.
Everything is intention. I mean, everything, you could take everything there is too far one way or the other. And if you're a slacker, then the good enough principle is not what you need to hear.
Right.
But if you're type A perfectionist, frozen, you're frozen in the moment because it's not yet perfect, then the good enough principle is important.
Well, and when you have also experienced something at a level or a quality to go backwards to that. You know, like when every week I get the Simply Youth Ministry newsletter, and I go, almost every week I go, whoa. You know, Riley is really, really good. It's really good.
Everybody else before him sucked.
They were good enough.
They were good enough. No.
Sorry, Pat. Sorry, everybody.
No.
Sorry, Natalie.
But they're just.
Sorry, Andy.
They're great. And you go, once you've experienced that standard, let's say, Riley wants to create his own design firm and fall outside of the Lord's will. And go somewhere else. Then all of a sudden
got a smile out of him.
You bring somebody else in, and you go, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, and here's the opposite. The opposite of what you're experiencing now, but the exact same thing that you just described. I read some of the letters that are. Can you follow that? I'm sorry.
Keep going.
But anyhow, point is that I read some of the letters that send out from our church, from the adults to the adults, and it sends me into a rage, on just how some of these letters. I'm like, this is the perception of our church.
This is what the Clippers would send out.
That's great.
You haven't heard my illustration.
But you get it already.
Yeah.
Well, he's just laughing because these people.
No, he understands.
Yeah.
Lakers, Clippers. He gets
I
it.
just said I feel like sometimes our church, we're the Clippers. We want to be the Lakers. We have the potential to be the Lakers, but we're the Clippers.
Yeah.
Just at times.
But if you guys did high school ministry, come on.
Hey, high school ministry is running like the Clippers and the Celtics right now.
But we
Celtics?
could win the
You're
national championship.
You're doing a great job.
It is fun.
Yeah, Celtics are 41-9 as of.
They are incredible.
So
They're
how
playing
can
the
they be the
Lakers
Celtics and the Clippers?
No, and the Lakers. I
He
said.
meant to say Lakers.
He meant to say
Oh,
Lakers.
did I say Clippers?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh,
I was
confused.
I was
Okay.
insulted and encouraged at the same time.
Well, that's good enough. All right. This is Matt Norman from the Rock of Winter Haven, Florida. I'm still working on getting caught up. I'm currently listening to episode 47 that guest starred Janet.
That's perfect.
47.
She said that she thought that the podcast was a waste of time in the beginning. She never did say if her opinion had changed about that. Well, let me say, as a newbie in youth ministry, that the podcast is invaluable. I've learned so many things from you guys.
It's truly invaluable.
You cannot put a price on it.
Can't put a value on it.
It's
Which
free.
is why it's free.
Maybe we stop.
That's the value.
Maybe we stop at 100 and we just let people catch up.
Because
it
we
seems
take
like
a year off.
It seems like we're creating content each week that people are just catching up to. But we have some people who. Are you drinking the new drink?
It's so bad. Try some of
This
this.
is acai, blueberry acai.
It's the worst tasting drink we've ever been sent.
It's
I like that drink.
It's like Mona V. That's what said that Mona V is.
I gotta try this one. Sorry.
Asahi.
All right. So Matt,
This one smells bad. Just smell that.
that's why the guy sent them.
They bottled it at their church. What are they? What are they
Dragon fruit's
doing?
good.
This is.
Oh,
that
God.
tastes
Absolute
terrible.
Oh, no wonder it's 0 calorie.
0 calorie.
man.
Oh,
Negative
Tell me
taste.
that makes me not even want to read his letter.
Sorry, handwritten letter guy or gal.
Ben Hunter.
Oh,
All right.
our show is invaluable.
But
That's
here's
good to know.
here's what Matt said. Matt said, I really loved the failure show.
That was a good themed show we did back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do we want to do another theme show
I
coming
think
up?
we want to do another failure show.
We could.
I think our
I've
last
got-
couple have been
I got a
failures.
year's. Oh, this one smells good. You can't mess up lemonade.
You can't
Yeah.
until you take
Sure
all the
you can.
calories out of it. Let me see.
It tasted good for a while, then the end was not.
it says Daily V. What is that?
If you drink that, you'll get bronchitis.
Oh my.
A to zinc.
All right, here we go.
Failure show.
On a recent show, you mentioned that churches are now allowed to have Super Bowl parties legally. Any idea where I can find the documentation? I'm having trouble convincing my church that it's okay now.
Well, you got a year
Google.
to find it.
Yeah.
What is this thing you call Google?
I know, it's crazy. No, if you go to, actually, if you go to morethandodgeball.com, I blogged about it, and it links to the NFL.com
Great.
release.
There it
Sorry.
is. There it is.
Sorry to another shameless promotion, but
Yeah. Hey, we had
No, you're
a nice little Super Bowl party.
It was
it
fun.
was so fun. The crowd was so into it.
Dude,
It was.
how many people showed up?
1 billion with
No,
a
no,
B.
no,
Billion.
How many
We don't
people
need to
showed up?
say how many people showed up. Just say there was a lot.
Was it
Here,
the
I'll
number
give you
that
the hand
There
signal.
was there was the energy. Yes, it was the number that I had said. There was the energy in the room, and the crowd went crazy.
Jim,
And
put the number down.
Inappropriate commercials are great.
Oh, there was the
I
Doritos
heard
commercial
about
was
that.
a little bit
I
of a
actually
bummer.
missed it.
Yeah, because
Second
all
half,
Christians,
right?
all
It's
Christians
great.
typically mute.
Yeah,
their-
when they're at home.
No,
Yeah,
no.
we did
Was
a
it
praise
no?
and worship
Was
time.
it second half? Because someone was talking about it, and I didn't catch it because the commercials were so horrible first half.
What?
It was
we
like
were
the third
behind.
There were
commercial
some
of the
great
game.
ones.
The Doritos one was my
Oh.
favorite. When the guy throws
The crystal ball
crystal
one.
ball.
They filmed that commercial
I
for
forgot.
$5,000. It was a homemade
Genius.
commercial. They won a contest,
Genius.
and then they aired it on the show on the Super Bowl.
That's great.
It
How
just
awesome
tells
is
you
that?
that you don't have to have money, but it helps.
It's brilliant.
This is from Kim. Kim said, Josh, in episode 86, you're wearing a T-shirt that had the word "grow" on the front with Africa as the O.
Oh.
Where did you get that? Well, Kim's a faithful listener. What she hasn't realized is you get everything free.
It was free
Either
And,
from
Neely-
compassiongrows.com. They sent it
there
to
you
me
go.
so that I would blog about it, and I think the shirt's really cool.
It is. Okay, there she
Really?
goes.
Yeah.
Kim, there you go.
Good memory.
What's it called?
Morethandodgeball.com.
I was going to say, why don't you send people to your
Seriously.
Yeah, just type in
the
grow-
award-winning?
Africa Grow on More Than Dodgeball, and you'll get a picture of it and then a link to
You
the
know what
link.
I'd like
I
you
think
to do
need
sometime?
pay for a new banner.
Yeah,
to
what
sit
if I
back
put up
here.
a little MTV?
I'd like you to blog sometime about how the podcast really launched the blog.
I want to read your blog. That's what I want.
Nice deflection.
Thank you.
Now you have Toblerone.
Okay, Craig from Walla Walla. Maybe a year ago you
Washington.
mentioned the idea of a used fitness equipment sale as a fundraiser. Yeah, I did.
You did. I remember that.
But it was
Your
I
garage
You
is
bring
filled
it up
with
about
them.
once a month.
No, but I also want to say that I've never done it. I just think it would be a great idea.
Well,
Right.
we have a good supply in your garage, so.
All right.
You should do it in January.
We are a church about 500, so this is my first fundraiser after 3 years of ministry. The
hope it
fitness
didn't
sale was a blast.
Yes!
Yeah, look
You-
at that.
Great
Evidence now.
idea.
Simplifying
Great
your youth
idea.
ministry, saving you time.
Sorry, creative
Absolutely.
designers.
Just
That's
enough
funny,
youth
dude.
ministry so you don't feel guilty for listening.
Like
How
that.
much money did they bring
I
in?
teamed it up with the new year and the idea of resolutions and cleaning out the basement and getting in shape. It was very little work, maybe 6 to 8 hours. We made over
That's a lot
$500
for some of the
bucks.
people around this table.
Nice.
Sweet.
We made over $500 and hung out with students while playing Xbox while locals bought equipment.
Also nice.
Oh wow!
Speaking of video games.
This is Craig
Did you
Pfeiffer.
get your video
That's
game
awesome.
system back?
No.
But Griff and I might be on the attack.
We might be on the attack a little bit about video games right now.
You're getting
you guys
attacked?
are so wishy.
You're getting attacked?
gosh.
No, we might
Wishy-washy?
go on the attack.
What does that mean? I don't know what you're saying.
Here's what we're saying.
We visited one of the other campuses of Saddleback, Irvine,
Okay.
this week.
A ministry with, on that day, just under 50 students were there.
Okay.
And when service was done, they had 3 video game systems that over half the kids hung around to play on.
Oh,
For
you guys are
30
not going to win this
minutes.
battle. He does not think video games are social.
I know.
They're
They
But
played
here's
Rock
my
Band
argument.
together,
Here's my argument.
Halo,
Here's-
Mario World.
I know
it
we
was
lose
awesome.
the argument, but we wanted to bring it up. And
But you
it's
win
just
the
fitting.
war.
Kids
That's right.
stayed.
Well, because
Kids
everyone,
stay for half an hour.
everyone who
40.
listens will agree with us.
Okay.
Totally. Oh, kids
Send
come
in
early.
for episode
No,
100.
you should be there early. Kids come early
Kids-
just so they can play, and they do it in the
But here's
other
the deal.
campus.
The
that
regional
there's only
campus
8 kids.
Here's
Has more
another
video
idea.
games than
Why don't we
the
try to
Highlands.
get people in the body of Christ to have conversations with kids
Here's my
and
here's,
talk
here's
with
my
them?
question
Oh,
is
you are
I would
so gay
argue
for saying that.
I would argue there's just as much conversation playing video games as you would have playing any sport, skateboarding,
No,
basketball.
but he doesn't see it as a social thing. It's
I
not-
know, but
It's
only,
the equivalent of a
it's-
sport.
But you guys have that Wii now. Your family enjoys the Wii.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm not anti.
Yeah,
I'm
a
not
little bit.
anti-video. I'm not anti-video games. What I'm anti is simple solutions that take away adults.
Well, skating doesn't take away adults.
No, but I'm saying, what if you put it? I'd be happy with video games in there as
Put a
long
volunteer
as
on each.
yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
That'd be great. You get a volunteer to own an adult volunteer to
Just
own
go to our
every.
college ministry.
But you don't have an
Yeah.
adult volunteer to
I will-
own each skate ramp.
No, but we have adults out there trying to reach them.
I will sit on the
They-
drums
and
the
they
entire
talk,
weekend.
They talk
then.
for about 2 seconds, and they don't want to be bothered. They're skating. They're doing their thing. They don't want to.
Anyhow, just saw that reference to the Xbox 360.
Oh,
and our
I
eyes
thought
lit
you
up.
guys were going to be on a crusade against video. games.
No, we had so
Matt,
much
come
fun
on
with
now.
students
Yeah.
we barely knew that we met that day, found out names, played songs together. I mean, there's like 5-person band. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I think you guys ought to go to town. I think
Dude,
you ought to do whatever you need to do.
Have you heard the story at Leo's Youth Ministry? There was a girl there, got pregnant, stayed in the youth ministry, had the baby, brought the baby back to the youth ministry, and still attends. And she says,
taught the kid to play video games.
taught the kid to play
Happy
video
ending.
No, but
Kids
she
and
had
gamers.
said, I just feel so accepted here and not judged that this is my church home. And even
That's
though
cool.
it's just so cool to see that happen.
That's cool. That
Did
is
you already
cool.
know about that?
Yep.
Sorry.
That's all right. That's all right.
But no one else did.
How's the live show doing?
Let me guess. 32.
Down to 10?
No, 41 still.
Oh, wow. They're holding on.
The majority of them say they only use video games at special events, like not regular.
Well, they're wrong too.
That's easy.
Hey,
What do you
you
mean
know
by
what? If you
majority?
guys
The
want to
4
do
people that
easy
spoke
youth
up?
ministry,
Oh, wow.
if you want to do easy youth ministry, just plop in video games. and
Easy.
Why
versus
even show
effective.
up?
That's
Why-
a fair question.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to take some time off.
Hey kids, come to church. Video games.
Rock band
Yeah,
and
why make them laugh? Just tell them the
Grab a
truth.
Bible on the way out.
You're on your
David
own.
Odell says, "I'm putting a package together
Why do
for
they need to
Josh
enjoy
to
themselves?
celebrate the 100th episode.
yes.
Can I mail it to the National Youth Ministry Conference? If I send it to you now, it won't get on the plane."
Oh,
You're right.
yeah,
It won't.
not a chance.
Well, that's your next day, right?
Can you send it to the hotel that we're staying at?
Yes.
What hotel are
Sure.
we staying at, Chris Davis?
Good question.
If
The
there's a
Omni?
Westin, that's where we should stay.
Just
Just go online. You can send it to the hotel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hyatt. Go to the
Yeah,
Hyatt.
I
Yeah.
think it's either
Under
like
Doug
Hyatt
Fields.
or
Don't
the-
send it to Josh.
No,
Send
send it
if
to
you-
Josh.
If
What
you
does he
wanted
wanna
to make
send
the
us?
If
show,
there's table sausage, then
if-
send it to me.
if you wanted to make
So
the
good.
show, send it to me.
What they want to
Like
send?
summer
What?
sausage?
Something for our 100th
So
show.
good.
That's a great idea.
Cheese and
Email
sausage.
me, and I'll give them an address.
Email Chris Davis, and he'll give you.
All right. Chris
This is
Davis.
from Greg Flanders.
Hey,
Last
Mr.
last
Flanders.
question. He's got two short questions.
Great.
Because the other one's for the other two are for the marriage show.
Don't say my name.
Greg Flanders from Marion Hill Alliance Church in New Brighton, Pennsylvania. Hello, nearly 100 episode podcasters. I have two short questions. Number one, how does one find out when you're going to be doing a podcast so I can watch the live show?
Oh. Follow Doug on Twitter.
We do it every Thursday.
MoreThanDodgeball.com.
Well, we don't do it every Thursday, Matt. Sometimes you are too busy.
That's like when
We
say
do
we
it
have
in the
staff
future of the
meeting every
church.
Wednesday.
That's
yeah,
true.
follow me on
But-
Twitter, Doug
Yeah,
Fields.
yeah, that's the easiest way.
Twitter.
You never
Find
miss
out
that.
13 seconds before.
No, I do it about an hour before. Sometimes I do it early in the morning when I read the
Does
podcast.
Flanders know how Twitter works?
I don't know.
He will now.
But that's one of the ways. Or you can go to Simply Insider. You can go to morethandodgeball.com, cha-ching, and whatever you need to.
Just
He says, how would you suggest removing a crowd favorite event from your yearly schedule?
like video games.
There is an event that the youth group goes to each year that has been a tradition for the youth group long before I came to the church. I feel that it is more flash than content, i.e. video games, and feel that our time and money
I was gonna say,
could
why is
be
he
better
canceling it?
used,
I
but
use
it's a
humor in the
crowd
message.
favorite and don't want to act like a dictator that doesn't care about what the students want.
Dictator. That's a good.
You had a pause in between those two.
It was a millisecond, which was
Phenoms.
just enough for me
Yeah.
to enjoy that. All right.
Yeah.
Come on. man.
Parents and the church as a whole just expect that we are going even without me bringing it up. It is not harmful, but I feel things in its place could be more helpful. What do you suggest?
Wow, that's a tough one.
Well, is there a way? The first question is, can you use it? Can you redirect it slightly? Can you make a small change so you'll have a big impact? If it's not harmful, but there's other things that could be more helpful. I mean, did they have to be done at that same time? I mean, if there's something else that would help your ministry.
Well, let's just go bigger. Sure, you could logic it away, but let's go bigger picture. A youth pastor wants to stop doing a
Logic it
program.
away.
Well, you could explain and make the guy feel like an idiot for. I mean, you could just go. But let's just go. Let's go bigger picture.
I'm totally confused.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that afterwards. But
Yeah.
let's think about how do you get rid of a program?
You need to gong a program that people still like.
Yeah, that's tradition.
Any program's going to have an element of someone's going to like everything that you do. So,
So how do you get rid of a sacred? Let's call it a sacred cow.
Well,
That's what we call it in P land.
assassinate the guy who's in
One
charge
of you
of
guys
that event.
just launched one.
Not me.
This
I didn't
room,
even smell it yet.
Chris.
It's got to be CD. Oh wait,
Brazelton?
smelt it, dealt it. Right there.
Anyway, okay.
Maybe it was me.
It's hard to tell. Sometimes.
I mean,
they're
I might
just-
have farted an hour ago and I just.
Okay,
creeped
step
out.
one, you have to have something else in place.
Right.
You have to at least start there.
You have to.
I
You're
think
just
so.
gonna launch it away like that.
Oh, my feelings are hurt. It's again.
Tender Matt.
No, not at all.
All right, so replace it with something.
With a clear explanation around it. Like there needs to be a well thought out plan. Well, for instance, Ensenada, we hyped up bringing Ensenada back this year
Right.
because people really missed it last year because it's been a big part of our ministry for years. And now,
Now we
it's gone.
can't
now
go to Mexico
we don't
'cause
even want
it's
to
too
say
dangerous.
it. We don't even want, because of the danger down there. We don't even want to say it on the podcast because we're waiting for this big unveil. We don't want to say we're not going to Ensenada without having firmly placed in their mind what is available and the heart behind what
Right, we
we're
want to
making.
capture that momentum that is naturally built there, but
Yeah.
now redirect it, which I think is what you're saying here.
And a big heart piece too, of just saying, here's the reason. Be willing to be a little transparent. You don't have to say every reason or put down the event that they loved, but here's what we want to accomplish. Here's
You gotta have some reasons.
Yeah, you could just logic it away.
yeah.
Yeah, the reality, people are going to be bummed. They're going to be hurt. And
Fewer than you think, probably. 'cause
yeah,
we build
and
it
it's
up
going
in
to be
our heads
shorter term
sometimes,
pain
and-
also than you think. You think it's
Yeah.
going to haunt you for the rest of your life. And some, it may for some. You're always going to be remembered as the guy who canceled,
That's how I feel about houseboats.
X.
Yeah, you're the houseboat guy.
You and Matt, I'll blame you both. That hurts.
You can't blame us.
I know.
Yeah,
It's not easy, though.
there's a higher
I mean,
power.
I believe that.
His name is Rick. Yeah, what do you think, Matt?
Oh, I started down that path. So
all you have is
I
logic.
think that if you're gonna, you have to clearly communicate your reasons why. And if there is something that you feel would be more helpful, then you gotta replace it. You gotta do the, hey, we were gonna do this, but now we're doing this, and here's why.
Well, do you think it's possible to also be willing to admit that you were wrong in case that happens as well? I mean, if you goof.
Well, see, that falls in the kind of line of thinking that he's talking about. I feel like in situations like that, we can always give that, think through, and can you tweak it, and can you do all this stuff? But the guy wants to get rid of it,
Right.
and he doesn't know how to get rid of it.
Yeah.
And you may, one of the ways that I would say is, this is our last year. Hey, everybody, this is our last year we're doing it. We're going to do it big because next year we're going in a new direction. And so let's make this the best, the biggest, the funnest.
Yeah.
We are going to bury this program this year and announce it ahead of time so there's a grieving process. And here is why we're going this way. So they're bummed, but they also get to experience it one more time. The door's not closed on them.
I like that.
I don't think, Greg, that there is an easy way to do this. You can always throw video games at it. So, anyway, all right.
enough.
Hey, we need questions. We're out of questions. Either one, we're out of questions, or two, I can't find the questions that we haven't answered. So send them to podcast@simplyyouthministry.com. Visit Josh at morethandodgeball.com. Visit Jake when you talk to the Lord.
That's right.
Matt is hokma.com.
Just look for love handles on Planet Bright.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And I am the king of microblogging.
Yes.
I
All
know.
right,
We gotta
turn off the
find
cameras.
that
We got to find out this blog right now. Golfing.
I want to see if I can find it.
There you can't.
Hey, everybody. Bye.
Bye.